Real Deal, and I am back for another crochet tutorial on how to make these absolutely adorable and really super simple coasters. These ones today, I was just fooling around in my car and all I had was a J-hook. So the ones that we're going to be making today are going to be a little bit smaller than this, but it's basically the same idea, the same concept. Okay, and for today's tutorial, we are going to be needing at least 2 separate colors of yarn. I am going to be using red and green. We are going to be using a pair of scissors. I'm going to be using a 5mm crochet hook for this. And I'm going to be using a tapestry needle to sew in my ends. You do not have to use a tapestry needle. You can probably just weave your ends in with a smaller crochet hook, or whatever you have on hand that will get those little ends woven in place. Let's grab our items. Of course, you know, as always, I have my ever so loving trusty cup of coffee sitting right next to me. Just as I always tell you, I love having a cup of coffee while I'm crocheting. So let's grab a drink, let's grab our materials, and let's get this started. In today's tutorial, we are going to be using the magic circle method. Now, you don't have to do this. You can absolutely do a chain 4 and crochet into the center of the chain 4. So basically you would chain up 4, you would slip stitch into the chain next to your slip knot and create your circle that way. Today we are going to be using our magic circle, the cinch circle, whatever kind of circle you want to call it, the little circle that closes up. So how we do our magic circle, this is how we do our magic circle. We put our yarn on our hand and we run our finger down to hold it in place. We're going to wrap our yarn around our 3 fingers, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go up and crisscross going upward and wrap it around. Okay, we're going to go under, we're going to pull up a loop, we're going to crisscross and pull up another loop and go straight through that loop. And there we have our magic circle. Our magic circle, our cinch circle, the circle that just closes when you pull the little tail. Okay. And as we're working our stitches, we are going to be working around this tail. So we're going to be stitching this tail into this ring, okay? I don't want to, this tail is not going to be exposed. It's going to go around so that it cinches in this ring when we are done. Okay, so we did a chain 1. We need 2 more chains, 1 and 2. And we are going to do 11 more double crochets into this ring because this chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. So this 3 is our first double crochet. So we're going to wrap our yarn around our hook. We're going to go in, making sure that we're taking that tail and putting it around all the stitches. We're going to wrap our yarn around, pull through 2, wrap your yarn around and pull through 2. Let's do that again. So basically I have my fingers on my tail and my magic circle. Wrap your yarn around your hook, go in, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn around your hook, pull through 2, wrap your yarn around your hook and pull through 2. Wrap your yarn around your hook, go in through the circle, making sure that that tail is getting yarned in. Okay, and we are going to continue doing this for a total of 11 double crochets. I will be back when I have a total of 12 double crochets with my chain 3. Okay, I have finished my now 12 double crochets because our chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. I did 11 more double crochets around and I am ready to close this guy up. And how we close this little half moon up is we take this little tail that we've been weaving in. As we yarn over, we're weaving it in, and we pull it and pull it and pull it, and that little circle gets tighter and tighter and tighter until it's a completely full closed circle. Now we just need to slip stitch at the 3rd chain. So 1, 2, and 3. We are going to slip stitch. Okay, and we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Right into this first stitch here. Right next to this chain 3 is a stitch. Do not miss this stitch, otherwise your piece will have a hole there. So we are going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch right next to our chain 3. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets in every single stitch going around for a total of 24 double crochets And those 24 double crochets are counting these two in the beginning here, our chain 3 and our 1 double crochet. That counts as the first two. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to continue going around until I have 24, and when I come back I will show you how we move on to the next round. Okay, you guys, so we are back to our chain 3, so we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to slip stitch at the top stitch. Okay, and we can see how we're getting this nice little round circle. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We are going to double crochet into this first stitch right below right next to our chain 3. Do not leave that stitch empty or you will have a hole in your project. And we are going to do 2 double crochets in every single stitch going around for a total of 48 stitches. I am going to continue doing 2 double crochets in every stitch around, and when I come back I will show you how we are going to chain this up and snip this off and start working on our next round, because this is our last round on this guy. Okay, you guys, so I am back around. I have went to the top of my chain 3 and I did a simple slip stitch, and I am ready to cut and tie this guy off a little bit here. So you guys know how I like to tie things off. I chain up 2, I snip it, and I pull the yarn through my work. Just a very simple coaster. You could even leave it just like this and they would be perfectly fine. But I like to have things slightly embellished just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to weave in these tails now so we don't forget them later and we don't have to deal with them any longer. Okay, so I'm going to get out a yarn needle and I'm going to thread my yarn needle. Okay, you can totally use a smaller crochet hook. A yarn needle just works a lot easier. And I pick some of these back stitches here and I'm just going to kind of weave this tail right into these back stitches. Okay, it's nothing fancy. We're not worried about sewing and that sort of thing. We're just trying to tie this off just slightly, just to weave in this tail so that it's really not that visible. And I usually pick some of these nice little, really nice back stitching and pull my yarn through a little bit. Figure out which side is the side that wants to go through. Okay, and now that's that. And I'm just going to snip this off. I love these little scissors. They came with my little kit that I was showing you guys the other day. And this guy here, we've already pulled him tight. And we're just going to snip off that whatever tail that is remaining. If you don't have a tail that is remaining, hey, that's not a bad thing. Alright, so now we're going to get our opposite color, which for me is this beautiful, beautiful evergreen. And I was thinking, you know, green and red. And you know what? Actually, I think I might use a little bit of this white instead of the green. Just to give it a little contrast. You know? Let's change things up a bit. So, I'm going to take out my white. I'm going to put it down in a drawer because it's actually literally a ball. So I'm going to be using red and white now. I know I said I was going to use red and green, but I just had a change of heart and said, you know what? This is more like Santa Claus. So I'm going to use the red and white. So I'm going to get my red. I'm going to do my slip knot. A over B, B over A, bada boop. Slip knot. And I'm going to make sure that this is a little bit tight up to my hook. I'm going to get it adjusted onto my hook. Okay, and now I'm going to slip this right off my hook. And I'm going to go into here. And to pick a stitch, any stitch, just go into a stitch. And I'm going to bring that yarn right through. And now that this is attached, okay, and I'm going to work on weaving this tail in while we work. So now these are very simple single crochet V-stitched Okay, so we're going to chain up. This is our first single crochet. We're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And we are going to single crochet right into there. Okay, yarn over and pull through. And that is our first single crochet V-stitch. Now we're going to skip this next stitch right here, and we're going to go into the next stitch. And we're going to pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, chain and chain. We're going to go in, pull up a loop, and do another V-stitch. We're going to skip this chain. We're going to go to the next chain, pull up a loop, 1 and 2, go in, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Skip stitch, single crochet V-stitch, single crochet, chain, chain, and another single crochet. Okay, now we're going to continue, skip a stitch. So we're going to skip this one right next to our V-stitch, and we're going to go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, single crochet, chain, chain, oopsie, chain, 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 chain. We're going to go into our next stitch, not this one right here, but we're going to skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, single crochet, chain, chain, and a single crochet into the same stitch. These V-stitches, they are a single crochet, a chain, chain, and a single crochet into the same stitch. Skip a stitch, single crochet, chain, chain, single crochet into the same stitch. Okay, skip a stitch, single crochet, chain, chain, and a single crochet into the same stitch. And that is our repeat all the way around. When you come to the last one, it should be a skip a chain if you have the multiple of 2 like we should at this moment, because we should have 48 stitches going around. Okay, I am going to continue doing my V-stitch, and when I come back, our coaster will be complete. Okay, you guys, so I'm coming back around to my last single crochet V-stitch. The reason why we say V-stitch is because once we do that chain, chain, if you look here, it literally looks like a V. Okay, see, 2 pairs of pants and the suspenders in the middle. All right, so single crochet, chain, chain, and a single crochet. And we're going to skip this stitch, and we're going to slip stitch into this top stitch right here. And you know how I like to tie things off, 2 chains, and for those of you that don't know how I like to tie things off, I generally like to go up at least 2 chains. Like I'll chain 2 and then I just pull it down as a knot, so that it's not a big knot, but it's at least a knot. Okay, and that is our coaster. Now, of course, I'm going to take my little tapestry needle and I'm going to thread it through the white through this, and I'm going to, these coasters are so super simple. It's just basically a circle with a little pretty edge. And I'm so glad I changed out the red and the white. Okay. And I'm just going into the back stitching here, and I'm just going to run my yarn through that. Like I said, I am not the best sewer. Sewing is not my my specialty. That is for sure. And I'm just running this all along the edging here where there is the white. I don't want to get it in with the red because it'll be too noticeable. And I'd say that should be enough of that. And that is our super simple, easy breezy little holiday coaster. If you change out the colors, it is not for the holidays. So whatever color you would like to do, whatever the style is in your home, these are going to be perfect no matter what color you are using. As always, you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to make this super simple, easy Easy, easy coaster. As always, I thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, share, do all of it. I want to thank you guys for watching this tutorial on how to make this absolutely adorable coaster. I know I enjoyed filming it for you and showing you how I like to do things. And as always, remember, have fun with what you're doing and keep it real, because you know I do each and every day. Bye, you guys. Happy crocheting.